Hello and welcome to Inspired Nutrition by Kelley. Today I have a special guest with me. I have Aaron Robles, and I'm not gonna say the unless you say it for me.
Robles.
See, that's how you say it.
It's all good.
I can spell it. So yeah. Well, thank you for being here with me today.
No problem. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So we started this process. I sent Aaron a health history and he filled this out for me. Mm-hmm. And we came down to a few specific goals that we're going to reach on this video. And so tell me about what you're looking for in the perfect recipe.
So for me, it all comes down to time, right? I don't have enough time. I'm running 2 or 3 businesses at a time. So I'm in the office early morning to late night. So for me to come home and try and defrost any chicken or put any big complicated recipe when my tank is already on E is super difficult. So I'm looking for something quick, easy, and healthy. It's key.
Yes, and tasty and fresh.
Yes.
And you're going to love what we have in store today.
What do we got?
So we have spiced chickpeas with a cucumber sauce.
Okay.
Because I know that you said you like the spicy.
I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, on those late nights when you're coming home, you don't have time to thaw something in the freezer.
No.
And it can be hard. So I've chose something that can really just stay in your pantry.
Okay.
And you can bring it out on a late night and pop this together and it should be pretty simple for you.
Perfect. Let's get started.
Okay. So we have chickpeas to start, and I'm going to tell you about these chickpeas. These are amazing. Why don't you get started on some of the spices,
okay?
And then I'll clue you in a little bit more about the chickpeas. So
perfect.
We're using like 7 or 8 spices here.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's a lot of spices, but we talked about this, and most of these are things you have in your cabinet anyway, right?
Right.
So they're not anything really exotic, but the combination of a little bit of all of these makes a fantastic flavor.
And that's really what it's all about, right? Flavor.
Yes, flavor. And also medicinal. Spices are medicinal. So we'll talk about some of the benefits from the spices.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So where should I start?
Okay, let's start down here with our cumin.
Okay.
And so we've doubled this recipe. You can get it either way. And
so we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of cumin.
2 tablespoons of cumin. And you know, you could screw that top off if you want to.
It's way easier, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you know, it's professional, my professional. You know.
Right. Well, that's one of us.
So let me tell you, chickpeas are...
You didn't see that.
They're packed with protein. I mean, all the amino acids that you need that you regularly get from meat. So all of those building blocks, all of those amino acids. Also great anti-inflammatory.
Okay.
This is going to reduce your inflammation and your pain in your joints. There are so many vitamins and minerals in chickpeas. And I'll tell you what, with chickpeas, you can also get it like in flour, and you can make about anything. You can make muffins and pancakes and bread, and just like you would any other kind of flour. Yes, except you're not getting that white flour that's been stripped of all of the minerals and the vitamins. These are packed, but they're going to give you the same kind of result when you're baking.
So then why don't people use chickpeas more if they're healthier?
That's an excellent question, Aaron.
Just doing my part here.
Exactly. So you're doing beautifully. So this is pretty simple because most of the measurements are the same. So what are you putting in now?
So right now we are putting organic toasted sesame seeds.
Yeah.
Which smell delicious, by the way.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I love smelling things. Just whenever I have something different I'm putting in. Because most of what I do with my cooking, I just kind of guess. And if it smells good, I just put it in.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I just really like flavors. I think, you know, me being Mexican, I'm used to just very strong flavors. Everything is strong. So the more flavor you pack something in, the better for me.
Yeah, and I love that, you know, because cooking, it's really an art of sensation.
Yeah.
You know, it's about texture and flavor and heat, and there's so many variables I think that can change. You know, your oven may heat at a different direction, or you know, food can vary a little. So to use your senses, like that's really smart.
And my mother always cooked just by the smell and taste. You do just something, and then it just feels right, and then you adjust and you adjust. So I've learned to do that. Yeah. It's a lot more fun too, because sometimes you get it real wrong. But, you know, it's part of the experience.
Oh, that's great to use your senses with cooking.
Okay. So next we're gonna go with the ginger here.
Yeah. Okay, so another just wonderfully medicinal spice, right? Ginger, we know, is very, very healing. It's really nice on your tummy. It can settle down an upset stomach. So it's, yeah, even just the smell of it can just make your tummy kind of feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It's so medicinal. And so these are going to be good things for, you know, your immune system. Some of these spices, these cayenne peppers are good for your immune system. So, and the salt you're using there,
real sea salt here.
Yeah, you can see that I use that on a regular basis.
Yeah.
The bottle's a little messed up there.
That's good.
Yeah. But yeah, we're using full mineral salt. So it hasn't been stripped of all of its nutrients.
And the regular table salt has?
In fact,
is that the difference?
That is the difference.
Huh.
So do you see how this is not a pure white?
Right.
This has got little speckles, it's different colors, because that's how nature does things. Nature is diverse and colorful, and I think we've gotten to the point where we expect everything to just be so uniform and regulated and perfection. And
that is weird to think about with food.
That's not nature.
Right.
That's not what nature does. So yeah, you've got lots of colors in there, and
so I'm trying really hard.
You're doing great. And if it has a little bit of extra, that's okay.
Yeah, that's how we're doing things,
that's
right?
Right.
How
does
does
it smell? As long as it smells good, we'll just keep going.
Oh, this smells wonderful.
Perfect.
I'm excited to try this.
Yeah, these spices are fantastic. So I'm just going to cut up a little cucumber because I'm going to start on our dip while you do that. And so we're going to have a few cucumber slices. I want to cut up real thin because we might use them on our salad or
I
our
love
wrap.
cucumbers. Growing up, we did a lot of cucumbers. Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Cucumbers and avocados.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love avocados. Absolutely. They're so these are so refreshing and hydrating in the summertime.
I know, so good. And if you put some powdered chili or some spicy stuff on it, it tastes so good. Have you ever done that?
Really? No.
I'll have to bring you some. I mean, it's a whole Mexican culture thing. You just that with lime and a whole lot of like spicy powdered chili.
Really?
Phenomenal.
Oh, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
That sounds like another video.
I think so.
That's what it sounds like.
Well, we'll have to introduce some new cultural recipes.
I
here,
like
right?
it. Well, you know something that I understand, I've learned about your culture, is that you're brilliant for putting together cilantro along with black beans.
Yeah.
Because black beans, as we know, can cause gas. Cilantro actually keeps you from getting the gas.
Really?
They balance each other.
I had no idea.
That's
Just
right.
grow up eating things and it's just how things are done, right?
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
That is interesting. It makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
The cilantro is also phenomenal. You know, some people taste the soap or whatever that is.
Yeah.
What a bad life. Like, I mean, to not be able to enjoy cilantro, I love cilantro on everything. Cilantro, lime.
Yes.
They just make everything so much more flavorful.
So,
There's a little zest.
So good. And you know, cilantro is a heavy metal cleaner.
Is it?
So it attaches to heavy metal in your blood and helps bring it out.
So what kind of heavy metals would I have in my blood?
Well, we're exposed to heavy metals all the time. It could be, you know, like aluminum, or even from your if you have cavities, that's a heavy metal.
Really?
Yeah, we have there's an enormous amount of toxicity in our internal environment. So yeah, cilantro all all We put them on our
Some new
salads.
things.
Yeah, great.
Okay, so I think I have everything here on my list. Olive oil, is that over here?
Yes, that's there.
Okay.
And yeah, you can
Two
stir that.
tablespoons.
Okay, great. And we're gonna stir those all up and get them nice and covered with all that beautiful spice.
Fantastic. Where did I find the tablespoon?
The tablespoon is right here.
Beautiful. Okay. So we'll do 2 of those.
Yeah, get them all around those beans. Now we could have put down the oil beforehand. It will work out fine like this. It'll all come together. But if you wanted to, you could put the oil on the beans first and then add the spices.
What would that do?
Just kind of help distribute it a little bit more evenly if you've got them all over the beans. But
That
we'll
makes
stir
sense.
it enough, it'll work out, and what we're gonna do is fry this in a pan just a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna heat up this pan right here with a little bit of
Perfect.
coconut oil. So I'm gonna step out here 1 second. And coconut oil, because I'll come over there while I talk. Coconut oil is fantastic. It's a really healthy fat. It's so delicious in this recipe. You can heat it up a lot and not have any fear of damage. So the problem we really have with those fried foods are the destruction it causes to our cells.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
How does that work?
Well, each oil has a heating point.
Okay.
And after it comes to that point, it actually deconstructs. So it becomes rancid or unstable.
Oh, what does that do?
It's horrible for our cells. It's just a mess and confusion, and it's terrible. It's really hard on our bodies. So if you want to get that crispiness and you want to fry something really hot, then something like coconut oil has a really high boiling point, really high temperature before it loses its
So you
structure.
can almost use different oils for different things depending on what you're cooking. Because
Absolutely.
I've never thought about it that way. I just put something and then you cook, but different meats that cook at different temperatures. Huh.
Absolutely. Yep.
Well, great.
Yes, we have different oils for different things for sure.
Let me see. I think I have everything here, and I think last thing is black pepper.
Okay, that's right here.
So how much of that should we put in?
We're going to put in, we're actually just going to sprinkle a little bit on the top. I just have that kind of, it's a little bit of a topper, so.
Say when.
Okay, not yet. Okay, when.
Okay.
And now you can just stir that up. I'll get you a little bit bigger of spoon here.
Okay.
And we'll pop this in the pan for a second, and then we will finish up our cucumber sauce. So all I've done here is just chop up a little bit of cucumber.
And we have a guest.
My cat.
The executive producer.
He came to sniff. Usually I just show him this and he runs. It's just water and he knows that he's not supposed to be up here. So, okay.
Check that out.
Yes.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yummy. Okay. Yes. So I have my coconut oil. I'm just going to put this over here. And then if you would, sir, you could put a cup of this beautiful grass-fed yogurt.
Grass-fed yogurt.
Yes. So I will explain to you why that is so important. Here.
Okay.
Put these in here. Oh, do you hear that sizzle?
Yeah. That's what you want to hear.
Oh, yeah. That's a nice sizzle there.
So we're going to do 1 cup, you said?
Yes, 1 cup. You can just spread in that bowl there. And so we've got grass-fed yogurts. We've got probiotics. Grass-fed, there's just a huge difference between grain-fed and
So
grass-fed.
what are probiotics for? What do they do?
Probiotics will help to feed the microbes that we have in our gut. So these are healthy bacteria that help sustain our life. They help keep us healthy.
Okay.
They're a huge part of our immune system. So they keep us from getting sick. They keep us healthy. But the extent of those microbes is fascinating. I mean, everything from your emotions. Your
Really?
emotions can change. Yes, absolutely.
Huh.
Absolutely. So
Might explain a few things.
yeah. If I'm like, Aaron, I've got a pit bull. I'm going to let it out here in just a second. Are you okay? Like, you don't feel that in your head, right?
Yeah.
You feel it in your gut.
Right. So that's what probiotics help do. They help regulate?
Well, I'm saying that if your gut is really off, then you're probably a little more unstable emotionally.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So what other foods have probiotics in them that we could eat?
Well, that is an excellent question. So things like sauerkraut is
Okay.
excellent. Kimchi, which
Kimchi.
is a type of sauerkraut basically. We also do. You can take probiotics. You can do that.
Yeah.
But what you're doing really is building a colony of defenders in your tummy. So you want to continue to populate that culture.
It's important. How's it looking over there?
It's looking good.
Good
Good. So I'm going to just put that aside. Oh, it smells so good. That cumin and coriander.
I'm so excited.
I just love
Yeah.
cumin and coriander. It's got just kind of a So, so good. Okay, so we've got our cucumber sauce going. And let's find our lemon. We're going to put a little lemon in here. How about that fancy
Cut it in
squeeze?
half?
Yep, you can cut it in half. And let's see, about a tablespoon. I know that a half a lemon is usually 2 tablespoons.
Okay.
So just kind of guess there.
So 1 tablespoon. Right?
Yeah, and you can, yeah.
Okay, how do I not make
I'm just going to let him do it, see how it...
It's fine. We're fine. Everything's great. You said 1?
Yeah.
Oh, here. Now we're cooking with gas.
See?
Look at that. Oh.
That's perfect. That
Beautiful.
is perfect.
And we put that in the bowl, right?
Yep, you're going to put that right in the bowl. Yep.
Wonderful.
And then I'm just slicing up these cucumbers here. Really
Those are looking good.
Small, smelling all nice and fresh. And this is nice because that's going to be kind of spicy, and this is going to be nice and cooling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which are the 2 things that I love. Again, the cucumbers.
Yes.
And then the spicy.
Yes, that's wonderful.
And we're going to be super healthy.
Yes.
Which is a big plus.
Totally. And you're not going to miss anything. When you're done with this meal, you're going to feel satisfied, both physically and nutritionally. So you shouldn't really be craving something.
Yeah.
When you have a meal like this that is just beautiful and organic and satisfying, usually you don't really crave things because we crave things a lot when we're not being satisfied in some way. We have a series of flavors. We have these 5 flavors, and when they're not being touched, have you had this before?
I'm an emotional eater.
Okay.
So especially late at night, I tend to eat unhealthy.
Yes.
Because that's when I come home. That's when I'm tired.
Yes.
And it's very hard to eat healthy. Some sort of salad or something when you really just crave something that's a little more filling. And, temptation typically for me kicks in late at night. So coming home and having something that's not only healthy, but is going to be filling is going to keep me happy and is going to keep my trainer happy. So everybody wins.
Yeah, that's perfect. And this is, again, so nice because most often you have these things in your, available to you so easily. So we have this in here. We're also going to add some chives. Look at these pretty chives I just got. You can't underestimate fresh herbs and spices. It can just take the whole dish. And
they make the whole difference.
Yeah, they really do. So we're going to do some fresh dill in here as well. You can kind of stir that up for me if you like.
Okay. Can do that.
Yeah. And then here in a second, we're just going to plate this up, and I'm going to show you these chickpeas. Oh my goodness.
So excited.
Yes. And now, Erin, you could add more like the cumin, for example, or paprika if you feel like that's your flavor more. So starting with that basis, you can certainly increase those spicy ones.
Well, I think that's part of the fun, right? I mean, once you make a meal on Pinterest or wherever you make it, then from there you can kind of make it your own based on what you want.
Exactly. So you could definitely spice that up if you'd like to.
Look at us. This is looking so good.
Wouldn't that be nice in the summer too? And it's really hot outside. It's so refreshing. You could also put some chives in here if you'd like to. We won't do that right now. I'll put a little bit of garlic in here as well. I'm going to chop this up really little. So, you know what? You could grab those green plates for me, please.
Okay. Where would you like them?
Right here in front, and I'm going to have you put a little bit of this lettuce on each one. Now, look at that.
What kind of lettuce is
It looks
this?
like a bouquet. Isn't it beautiful?
That is wonderful.
Yes. So I got this from an Amish aquaponic farmer.
Really?
It's so interesting.
So aquaponics, tell me about that.
Yes. So he doesn't use any kind of electricity for this either. It's fascinating.
Really?
Oh my gosh, it's so neat. So yeah, you can kind of just open those up and leave those on there.
Is this okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many of these should I do?
Let's do maybe 5 or so each. And you could always chop this up as a salad. You could always get like a bigger lettuce and wrap it up. But I just really wanted to use this because these are just so
that
beautiful.
Color too.
Yeah, and here we are in Indiana. We're just getting ready to start spring, and look at these greens. So this guy that I know, this Amish family, they actually grow these. And what they do is they have this huge fish tank. And so the water from the fish tank leaves and runs down a reservoir
Okay.
that goes down a chute, kind of, you know. And on that river, basically, lies a styrofoam pad, and the plants get seated on top of that styrofoam.
Really?
So essentially, these roots that we are still attached here are swimming in the water from the fish. So they're getting
So it
all
all
of
just-
these minerals. Yeah, the fish are feeding the plants.
Wow.
And it's kind of like on a slope. So they just keep moving.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this is all done in an enclosed environment?
It is. Oh, it's very
Wow.
impressive too. Yeah,
So-
like he has it dialed in. He does.
I didn't even know that was something that could be
Yes, yes.
done. That is so cool. So what are the
Yes.
benefits of doing it that way?
Well, you know what? You can see all of these roots.
Yeah.
So, you know, he has these fish, which he sells also, which are fed this wonderful food for them. And then all of these minerals are absorbed into these plants, which just feeds them without the use of all of the soil.
Huh.
Because they're not actually in soil.
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
Yeah, it's so
That's
neat.
so incredible.
It really is neat. Okay, do you want to grab those chickpeas for me?
Yes.
Okay. I just like to get people in the kitchen and mess around a little bit. Yes, look at those. Yeah, aren't those great?
I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. So you can just go ahead and just pile a little bit on each one of those plates there.
Okay. Do I just plate it right on top, or how should I
You know,
do this?
I'm probably gonna end up just kind of, you know what I might almost like to do. Now, of course, you have lots of options with this. What I'm gonna do is I'll end up grabbing this guy like this, and I'll end up eating it like a scoop.
Oh, okay.
So I might just put some on the side.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably the way I would prefer it.
Perfect.
You know, if this was big enough to wrap, then that would make sense. But it's
So we
kinda-
have lots of options here.
We have lots of options, so you can just dump them right on there. There you go. Yeah. A bit of garlic, another just completely medicinal food, great for your immune system.
You smell all that?
It's just so good,
Oh, yeah.
so good.
And the colors, the contrast, everything.
Yes.
From an artistic standpoint, that's beautiful.
Yes, it is. And, you know, fast and fresh. Lots
Bam,
of
look at that.
flavors. Yeah. Now, I'm just mincing up this garlic a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I've said this before, but there's something really interesting about garlic. So garlic, we know, is wonderful for our immune system, right? So when you slice garlic up like this and the air hits it, another compound is formed. It's called allicin.
Allison.
Yeah, it is. ALLISN.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What does that do?
It's just a very powerful immune system, immune boosting element. So it takes it like to the next level, and the only thing you have to do is cut it up and let the air hit it for a
Wow.
little while. As those little cellular walls are broken up, that air is hitting it, and we're introducing a new compound.
Some science right there.
Yeah, isn't it neat?
All sorts of things that plants and the earth does that you didn't even know
Yes.
about.
Isn't it wonderful? This is all available to you once you just start to understand how to.
How to use it all.
Yeah, exactly. So we can stir that up,
Okay.
and you might just plop a little bit there in the middle of those chickpeas if you want.
Right on
And
top.
then, yeah, however you like, whatever feels good to you.
Let's get artsy here.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Plating is half the fun.
Yes, it is. And I was gonna do maybe even some carrot sticks and some cucumber sticks. So if you get this really nice and spicy, which is good for you.
Yeah.
Nice and spicy with a little bit of this nice, tangy, fresh sauce. You can even do like some nice little cucumber and carrot sticks with it and wrap it up so it's crunchy and fresh.
Textures, right?
Textures, yes.
Gotta keep it interesting.
Mm-hmm. So there we go. We got it. Would you like to try it, right? Before we...
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to do mine with a little bit of cucumber here.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me grab this guy over here. And let's take a bite.
Okay.
Do you need... Would you like a spoon?
No.
No? You're just going to go for it?
Yeah, we'll just go for it.
Okay.
That's the thing. Mexicans eat with tortillas a lot.
So
it's
you
a lot
already
of
got
it's
this.
a lot of hands
You already got
hand stuff.
Yeah, you've already got this figured out.
So.
And normally I might use like a bigger, like I said, lettuce wrap. But it's so worth it.
Well, this is looking good.
It is. Whoops. Some of mine fell out. I'm going to take a bite with it. Okay.
Ready?
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh yeah.
Not good.
This is all really working.
I mean, you can eat this and you don't feel like you're missing anything.
Right.
Like you're not going, oh, well, where's my beef? Or where's the chicken? Because it's just really nice.
And it's warm and spicy and then cool at the same time. This is great.
Oh, it's so good.
And all extremely healthy for you. Got some probiotics. Whole lot of dill, right? That's what you're
That's
into?
too much dill. Don't do that much. So, yeah.
Well, great. We did
That's
it.
it. We did it. Yummy.
Good job.
All right. Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you so much for helping me today.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
You kind of lost my
And you know
focus
what?
now.
Yeah. I need to plug your Founders Park. I've seen some amazing stuff at your Founders Park.
Yeah.
Really. Can you tell me what that is?
Yeah, so Founders Park is something that we started a year ago. Really the idea was just to get a bunch of entrepreneurs together, excuse me, and build a community, right? So a lot of us that have started a business or want to start a business, it's hard, it can be lonely. So it was just a matter of getting a bunch of people like us together and saying, hey, what are you doing and how can I help? So this month actually is our 1 year anniversary and we've just done so much. So it's been great. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, Twitter, Founders, Spark, with an S at the beginning of Spark and at the end of Founders. But yeah, you can find us there and we're always looking for more people to kind of get together and help one another out.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Great resource, inspirational, and it's so true. You know, as an entrepreneur, I can spend a lot of time alone trying to figure things out, but when we get together, we can
It's
really
better
help
that
each
way.
other. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This was wonderful.
Okay, thank you for being here. And as always, stay inspired.